Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern. Always remain in a state of curiosity. And think about this. Have you ever noticed that you simply cannot experience suffering when you are living in a state of curiosity? When we are in a place of wonder, great awe, and childlike playfulness, we cannot create anything but joy, gratitude, and love. The mind is a very playful mechanism, and when we let it roam the universe freely, we will see that it naturally desires to learn how to experience everything as if it was brand new. So for the next 24 hours, I invite you to remain in a perpetual and consistent exploration of the feeling of curiosity, and you might discover how extraordinary the ordinary truly is. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Course in Miracles. Every few hundred years, our entire system needs to fall apart so it can rebuild itself in a more enlightened and grounded way. Our jobs, finances, schedules, health, daily routines require a massive reboot so we all can be rewired in a new light. And we are fortunate to be living at such a rare time on this planet that is like no other time in history. This is a special era that will create a deep transformation in the psyche of every single human being, Homo sapien, on a profound psychological and spiritual level. The pessimist might say, this is the end of the world, while the optimist will see it as the beginning of a new one. So it's just a choice. The pessimist, this is the end of the world. Optimist, the beginning of a new one. When the system starts pushing you into a completely unmasked, completely unasked for direction, how do you respond? Maybe you initially try to follow it when you rebel and ignore it. Then you rebel and ignore it. Become afraid, attack it, and then rigidly cling to your old comfortable known ways. The most enlightened way to handle global changes is to first become very quiet and still inside, so you can feel your feelings and listen to your intuition. When your mind becomes silent, you can easily hear your spiritual guides. They speak through your heart and will always guide you towards the highest path containing the most joy, health, safety, and pleasure. This promised paradise is heaven on earth, and it all occurs when you are devoted to quieting your mind. You are the host, and thoughts are your guests. You are the master of the house. The house belongs to you. Receive your thoughts, take care of them, but don't get identified with them. Otherwise, they will become the masters. Osho. This universe, knows we have an eternity of time ahead. So there are a billion creative ways to expand into it. This makes our soul extremely adventurous, deeply creative, and willing to take great risks, such as sign up to experience the wildest and richest spiritual experiences of them all, the great apocalypse. It's good to know the root of the word apocalypse. It stems from the Greek word apocalyptin, which means to uncover, disclose, and reveal. We are in a time where the world is going to unmask and unveil the full truth. The soul knows this body is going to die and be reborn 100,000 times or more, so it's wanting to explore and experience every unique way of life possible. If you ask anyone, we all agree we are all definitely in need of a more conscious, enlightened, peaceful environment, healthier and less toxic planet. All you got to do is take 5 minutes to listen to the news, if you're that daring, and you're teetering on the seesaw of end of the world type of hype. It's enough to make anyone, superstitious or religious person, believe the end of the world is very near. Remember one thing above all. There are no endings, only beginnings, only new beginnings. The beginning of this new awakened age is manifesting itself everywhere, because the old decaying levels of control and tyranny have been worn out. Do you feel it? They have been worn out, literally. This world is dysfunctional and desperately needs to be upgraded into a more enlightened model. A new world is coming, and the question everyone wonders is, what will the new world look like? Perhaps a better question to ask ourselves is, what would we like it to look like? We are truly the architects and inventors of birthing this new world. There is no doubt about that. Don't think for a moment that someone high up there in the great government hierarchy has strings making you their puppet. That thought itself is giving away your power. You are only a puppet to the great spiritual God source and no one else. Remember that, and everything will be just fine. Every individual on this planet is an essential puzzle of the great grand design. We are each sculpting, painting, and envisioning what we believe is the grand masterpiece for the new world. We are all manifesting it together. We are creating our own personal masterpieces on how we believe it will be. If we think it is going to be in alignment with how a more enlightened world would look and feel, the more profoundly positive an impact we will have on it, as well as inspiring everyone in our path. We are constantly creating the future through thoughts, beliefs, and actions about what we feel is going to manifest. The macrocosm is a holographic blueprint of the microcosm and vice versa. The more each person imagines and feels this world is moving into a more conscious, peaceful, environmental, healthier state, it adds to the collective consciousness and organically pulls everyone in that direction. This higher path that reaches for the enlightened state of consciousness is very contagious. It is ultimately what every soul is seeking, if they are aware of it or not. We all crave freedom, and this is what spiritual awakening is. Even though some people get caught in craving money and power, eventually they realize where the real power comes from. The spiritual path will find them also at the perfect time. Every brother is a gift because every person is unique and brings something new to the table. There is nothing like newness to stimulate rebirth, St. Francis of Assisi. To get more clear on what our new world will look like, simply ask yourselves this question every day. What is the most important thing in my life? What is the most important thing in my life? Take time to dwell on it deeply. What is this specifically for you? Invite yourself on a personal journey towards profound self-discovery and bring many ascended masters with you. Imagine that your soul's job in this life, is just to play. You will grow, learn, and evolve, of course, yet what it really wants is to let go and enjoy the journey. This means to be fully alive and to be totally in each moment. To be fully alive and to be totally in each moment. Do not be afraid to mess it up. It is already divinely messed up. You can throw whatever paint you want on the canvas and just see how it adds to the masterpiece. Mess it all up if you want. This is how the soul learns. Think of the new world coming ahead as the greatest invitation from God. The new world coming ahead as the greatest invitation from God to express your ultimate creativity. Remember, life is a spiritual exploration, which means you must choose to let your light shine at its brightest in the way that feels wildly good to your heart and soul. We are always inventing some new experience and perception of reality. Why not create the most amazing one of your life this year? Where attention goes, energy flows. Ancient Zen teaching. Every thought any of us are thinking is creating some feeling with it. The more we can let these feelings in and touch us, truly surrendering to them, the more empowered we will feel to manifest the life we really want. When we feel our feelings completely, in the most intimate way, we stop being afraid of feeling afraid. We stop being afraid of feeling afraid. And whatever dramatic situation you're dealing with will only let your brightest colors shine forth. The reason why the global collective consciousness would want to manifest such a thing as apocalypse is simple. It gives instant birth to our deepest spiritual experience of this life. We must choose to stop relying on the outer world for gratification. We are forced to move into the deepest place within ourselves, where we will find our spiritual connection with God. This is where we will find true satisfaction, inner peace, and compassion for humanity. The path to this divine state of freedom has always been available. Yet to reach and touch the deepest bliss within ourselves, we may need the ultimate pressure and dysfunction to push us there. The beginning of this new era consists of a partial awakening jolt and a profound, deep surrender. The unhealthy situation our planet is facing is forcing each individual to stop playing small, helpless, powerless, victimized, poor, and disconnected from the God sort. It's awakening everyone to get off the couch, take massive action, and become the most authentic, abundant, fully self-expressed, divine, awake consciousness we can be. The first time you let your divine, all-powerful nature shine forth, it can be quite terrifying. Because you have to surrender to everything. and let go of everything who you knew yourself to be. This is the only way to create enough room to let your full self come blazing through. It is the meeting of our deepest fear which brings out our fearlessness. It is in our darkest hour that we will truly stand up and call forth an unstoppable faith from within. The deepest yearning we have is to express our greatest love and highest potentiality. It is only through a staged apocalypse that the peak consciousness, every soul on the planet, must shine forth. The soul does not care how it is done. It just wants the light to totally come out of hiding. The God source is already awake, alive, and wants everyone to endlessly radiate this amazing love and creativity that is burning inside everyone. It wants us to realize that we have the power to manifest anything we want and use this internal fire to make all of your dreams come true. It is in the divine rekindling of the spiritual fire that the soul gives birth to a new dimension, direction, purpose, meaning. Anytime we are faced with intense suffering, we are forced to dive into our core stillness to find peace with the pain. When the majority of people on this planet are aware of and feel the pain this planet is in, they will dive into their own greatest stillness and spiritually awaken to the God source that is living within them. With any dramatic change that happens in this life, intense pressure is needed to break the tight protective shell holding life in stagnation. Apocalypse is how we will stop procrastinating and force ourselves to spiritually step into our deepest and highest potentiality. We must choose to say yes to it, to bring forth the great gifts it has to offer. We must choose to use this time wisely for our own spiritual growth, because that is what it is for. When people are truly dedicated to the divine, there is no difference between action and prayer. Mother Mira. The most enlightened I've found so far to deal with apocalypse comes from a deeper knowing that the future situations we all will be forced into contain the most amazing hidden blessings, deep eternal love in disguise. There are no coincidences or accidents in this life. Nothing is ever by pure chance. There is a sweet spiritual healing about to take place and a grand master enlightenment plan that our souls are here to experience. We simply need to recognize this. Our souls are the only thing that is real. Our souls, your soul, is the only thing that is real. Everything else will die and fade to dust in 10,000 years. Find that which never dies. Stick close to that 24 hours a day. Start with honoring, bowing down to, and praying your deepest respects to yourself. Know that deep inside you is the greatest divinity which you've been seeking to find through everything else for your entire life. Just by surrendering to this spiritual quest all of our needs will be met. Make this surrender your living purpose every day. You will not be disappointed. It is good to know that inside each of us is something which does not quiver in the face of fear. This is the essence of who and what we are. On the spiritual journey, we will find more power, wisdom, peace, and knowledge than we could ever believe was possible for a human to have. You'll discover there are no physical words that can describe how amazing you are. The spiritual being who you are is real and is not something imagined. Just like the air that you are breathing. But because you cannot see it, doesn't mean it's not real. Just stick your head underwater and you'll realize that it is supporting the life that you're living. Your soul is real. There is no need to hold your breath during the end and beginning of this new era. Just breathe even deeper, more fully, slowly. Bring your whole attention and energy into stillness. The wild, flowing movement of life can actually make you become even more still, calm, and centered. Be super-centered in the essence of who and what you are. Means you have no thoughts or concepts about it. It is what is. It is what it is. And it is naturally embracing and loving everything that is. By practicing stillness, we are not forcing any negativity away. It's more of an invitation to welcome the wildness of this life, to be consumed by this calm, quiet, centered energy at your core. Doing this will invoke the deepest clarity out of any tension or confusion. Excuse me. Your mind has become obsessed with or is holding on to. Once you can get your mind to be calm, quiet, and meditative, you've won the battle. The rest of the journey consists of pure revelation and enjoyment of this connection with the divine. It really doesn't matter what happens in the outer world after the inner battle is won. You realize the God source is all around you and inside you. You are awake and aware that each being is an infinite spiritual presence who has always been with you and will always be with you on this grand infinite journey. You will be able to see it, feel it, and be comforted by this divine setup. No matter how challenging your life situation becomes, the day the incessant commentary of the mind is taught how to be quiet, calm, and still, a brilliant light ignites in the darkness, and everything in the universe becomes crystal clear. You cannot know how busy, stressed out, and complicated the mind is until you get it to stop. It has made your life become a neurotic escapade and is responsible for trashing this beautiful planet. The day you can grab hold of the reins and bring it to a halt is the moment the enlightened state begins to enter you. Go with the flow of where the universe wants to take you. Trust it. It knows what you need better than you do. And sure, it may be scary at first to relax, let go, and trust the unknown. Yet when you fully surrender to trusting it, you suddenly are overcome with inspiration and excitement as the divine creative energy comes flooding in. Ultimately, when you look at the truth, of who you are and what is actually at the core of what is, life is a blank canvas, and there is nothing that you cannot paint on it. At the very core of you is pure stillness, emptiness, and an ever-expanding consciousness that welcomes any experience that may present itself. There is no thought, action, or experience that is forbidden, which the universe will not allow you to have. The universe is deep, eternal love, infinite creative energy. And it wants you to have every and any experience in this life. The more rich and diverse the experience is, the more mature your soul becomes. You instantly catch a glimpse of how truly calm, expansive, and clear life can be. When there is an absence of mind, there is absolute clarity. It's in this enlightened state that all your deepest desires and dreams will effortlessly manifest themselves. You'll see the vision of how we are going to turn this world into the most beautiful divine playground. The calm, centered mind is the birthing womb of everyone's spiritual awakening. The secret is training the mind, which takes an ounce of discipline and a ton of surrender. It takes your willingness to let go of how you normally approach everyone in your life and great, expansive for everyone, as they are the divine. It may feel a bit unusual at first to be so deeply reverent in awe and at peace in the midst of the apparent chaotic ego mind, yet when you can see through to the truth of who you are, you can see the truth in them. You will know you are fully awake when you see the infinite being on the inside and the outside. You will be able to manifest anything you want in your world because of this. Whatever you can dream of happening, you can step into the reality of that dream. This is the adventure. This spiritual awakening is your path, purpose, and mission in life. You were born for amazing experiences. And now is your time to let them manifest. It is your turn to celebrate, laugh, learn how to really enjoy this amazing adventure called life. So let's enjoy it. So if you will, go to a place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies, head to toe, inside and out. Now, how do you do that? Focus on the breath. Breathing easy in through the nose and easy out through the mouth. And what this does is it focuses each of us on the now. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, but the now. It's between each breath. And you'll experience the body as it lets go. You know why? Because by going into the now, focusing on your breath, which is the now, you still the ego mind, the subconscious mind. It's because you're not interacting with them. You're not asking them questions. They aren't asking you questions. And there's quiet. And the body continues to dump the crap, stress, fear, anxiety. Why is it that so many of us on this planet are so stressed? Because we allow the ego mind to take us under its mastership and keep us outside of ourselves, living the material physical world, going within, focusing on the breath, staying in the now, moment to moment. Now, we all reminisce. We visit memories, experiences in the past. We have our own libraries, our subconscious mind, which copies everything. It reflects everything that the mind generates. The ego mind generates. From day one. And by being focused on the now, you still all that noise. And you walk into your library, your subconscious mind, you turn on the light, you close the door, you grab some movies, you sit in the easy chair, and some books, and you enjoy reviewing your experiences and how wonderful and how much you enjoyed them and how much you would like them again. And we review things that aren't so good, but teach us not to do it again. But you know what we do? We put away the movies and put the books back on the shelves and shut the light off and close the door. And move forward. We're always moving forward, constantly. And we're never looking over our shoulders. Now, these are all paths that we choose. No one chooses them for you. You choose them yourself. And you look at the paths, and they're all pretty much identical. One on the left is the past. One in the center is the now. One on the right is the future. And the paths basically they look like you see these beautiful shimmering gold trees with leaves, branches, and bark, and they form canopies over all three of these paths. And the path itself, it actually looks like an emerald green, brilliant emerald green, flaming kind of a grass. Now, the one on the left, the past, we can tell it's really worn. One on the right, the future, we can tell it's really worn. Now, some of us, we will stay in that private library, the past, so long that we end up bringing it into the future that doesn't exist, creating that future from that past, living that past and that future. This is why so many people say no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. And others of us, we will go into the future. We create the future in the now. Everything happens in the now. But we still go there, and we still ask for advice. We ask for external authority. When am I going to have this money? When will I get this money so I could do this or do that or do this or buy this or do that? When am I going to have this money? When am I going to meet my lifelong romantic partner? When am I going to be healthy? When am I going to be happy? Look at all that energy. And then, of course, you get expectations. You start to suffer. Attachments, expectations. Suffer. So the now is the magic. It's the practice. Staying in the now, focusing on your breath. Now, none of us are exempt. You know, and this is when it's so important to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. All times. 24/7. And to be in the deepest, highest, purest, eternal gratitude. Because when you really understand, you start to understand, we generate 60,000 plus thoughts a day. We have tens of millions of thoughts flying by us like clouds in the sky. Those thoughts are programmed thoughts. They're not yours. They're not our thoughts. They're other people's thoughts. When you
create. We all create. When you create a thought, you send it out to the universe. And it doesn't mean that you're totally conscious about it, but that's what we do. We give the plans to the universe, and the universe answers us with those plans. So you can see how confusing it can get. You can be focused on something and then wander off. But the interesting part about this is that you begin to learn, oh, wait a minute. I'm not in the now right now. I'm in the future or the past. So I'm going to focus on my breath, and I'll be in the now 3,000% of the time, which is every time. And by staying in the now, when you still the mind, the ego, and the subconscious mind, you're participating with them. The mind chatter's gone. The ego mind is gone. The subconscious mind is gone. And you're in deep eternal peace by being in the now. Now, we're consciously aware. What that means is that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest, deepest, and the purest of the purest, purest, eternal love. And we know we're not these bodies. We're not the personality. We are not the character. We are not the status of what we have, who we are. We are none of those things. We are the God. Simply put, we are the God. So you can look in the body. And you look in the body, you see these 7 wheels of light. And they're known as chakras on this planet. Chakra means wheel. 7 different colored lights. Wheels of light. Now, they're more vibrant than any color on this planet. And we, the gods that we are, flow through them. They're spiritual etheric energy. We are spiritual etheric energy. We flow through them. We know everything about these bodies right down to the quantum port. Now, as we travel, journey within, we will discover that we are the power of healing. It'll get to the point where we'll be able to heal these bodies in a blink of the eye, no matter what's going on with them. And you won't be seeking external authority about them. So the now is the magic. The now is everything. Knowing that we are the God source, the kingdom of God, the heaven. Heaven isn't a place. Heaven is you, the God in that body. So we are heaven on earth. Earth's the body. Heaven on earth. And every step we take, we are creating paradise. Literally. Not only that, but we're shining our light. Saturating, permeating, flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universes, 24/7, infinity and beyond. And the light that we emanate is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. So, also, we may learn, before we decide to leave these bodies, that we are the love. That the love expands light. It's the highest of the highest high frequencies. We're the light. So, does it make any sense that when we decide to leave these bodies, here comes a light and we follow it? Does that make any sense? No. It's the trap. So why would we follow it? We wouldn't. And if you were to take a starship outside the planet, off-world, far enough out so you see entirely the globe, you would see that they glowed. I mean, for goodness sakes, whether we're awake or asleep, we've got 8 billion gods in these bodies. And that doesn't include all the other physical forms housing gods within them. So if you looked at all the lights around this planet, that you compare them, they would be like a candle that had been lit in a dark room. Now we know this, we have parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, that are consciously aware, awake to a certain extent, and then we have parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, that are asleep. Now, there's no separation. Those parts of us are asleep. They'll wake when they determine or decide to wake. Now, we focus on, obviously, those of us who are consciously aware and awake to a certain extent. And this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes we've inhabited. All the off-worlders, galactic, celestials. All the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. All the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. Now, with all light energy beings, and understand these, the numbers are endless. They're like in the Googleplexes. One Googleplex fills this entire universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. These are trillions of Googleplexes from trillions of universes. And to really interact with each other, do we need to be on top of each other? We could be 1,000 billion light years away and know each other, the gods that we are in these physical forms. Now, light energy beings, because of the eyes that we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. And so we don't see the light spectrums in light energy beings and the red, the infrared, the violet, the ultraviolet, the blue, all of these dimensional frequencies. But we are familiar with a little tiny bit of that group because of the fact that we interact with them, parts of it. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, the magics, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Now ask yourself, through the heart-mind, can you stand that body without air? Without water, earth, fire, wood, ether? No. But we get so caught up in the exterior material physical world that we don't remember that. Now, the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, their civilization vibrates at a different frequency than we do. We don't see them like we see ourselves, each other, but we do meet with them. We interact with them, and it's usually absolutely happens. It's just out of the clear blue. Someone could, complete stranger, start conversation with you. And it's not like you know it then during conversation. It not always, but it does come over you afterwards, and you say, I was an angel. It wasn't just any conversation. And this has been happening for thousands of lifetimes. The gods within us are the same as the gods within them. Now, they have a message that they send to us, they give to us, in many different ways. And the message is, isn't it absolutely magniglorious, splendiferous, stupendous to be alive in these bodies? And it is. And it is blissful. Because when we're not in these bodies, do we make love? No. Do we kiss? Do we hold? Do we laugh? Do we cry? No. We don't do any of that. We're bowls of energy, of divine positive energy. We are the God source, the love. We don't sleep, right? We don't eat. We don't drink water. We don't taste food. We don't do any of it. That's why these bodies are so enticing for the gods that we are. As we enter them, and we get so carried away with the physical aspect that we gain amnesia. And then we spend the rest of the life figuring out who and what we are. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time, in the tens of thousands or tens of millions. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. And if you want them to, ask. Blink of the eye. You'll be surrounded. And that is bliss. The Ascended Masters, their civilization, in a way, that have ascended through our civilization, have ascended into physical form, have mastered physical form, have ascended out of physical form, and hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical form. We're in the process of mastering the physical form, and we are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now, the off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials, over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. But we are familiar with a small group. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution. Enlightenment. Ascension. Freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, we're all gathered, so to speak, arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one, and we're all love, and we're all God. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to grow, intensify, and expand. We immediately form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. This light emanates from the kingdom of God within each and every one of us. The God source. The true, deep, eternal love. And it's flooding this planet, permeating, saturating all life, the highest supreme value in the universes. There's no escape. All lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, all demons, all of it cannot function. And we're watching it. We are witnessing it more and more each day. And it is because, as a collective consciousness, we decided to increase our vibrational frequencies into the higher and the higher, higher, deeper and the deeper, deeper, purer and the purest, purest, eternal love. Now we begin to ascend above the planet, and we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's nothing like the glitter that you would kind of see on this planet. The best way to describe it is this grand finale fireworks display, of which we've never even come close to on this planet. All the other fireworks displays pale in comparison. And same with the laser light show. And the ballroom globe, the mirrored globe that reflects all the light, turns slowly. This globe is 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense. And you combine all of these, and that's about as close as you'll get to describing the ocean of glitter. Now we're curious, so we go to the reflective points and discover these perfectly etched microscopic mirrors that we enter. And we discover that all of us, and no matter what physical form we're inhabiting, are teaching and learning and teaching from each other. Ourselves, each other. We're your students and teachers and students are both. And this is infinity and beyond. It's everywhere. A bug in the rug, a fly on the wall, a bird in the sky. Dog, cat, squirrel, mouse, rabbit, tree, bush, rock. We are always learning. Always. And when we decide to go within and stay within, we will discover what it is, the kingdom of God. What is the God? It's you. Remember, we were taught as a civilization and a species that the tree is life. It's the God within the tree that gives the tree life. It's the God within everything that gives that physical form life. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued with a white fire armor. Now, this white fire armor emanates from the God source within each and every one of us. The highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest purest eternal love. Now, it can't be penetrated or breached or weakened in any way. It cannot be violated in any way. All the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, demons, can't come close to us. If they do, they'll vaporize. So they stay away. So we're protected forever. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough through hatred, greed, anger, fear, envy, hurry, revenge, you will create a breach in your white fire armor enough so to allow all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then there's all kinds of possibilities. Demon possession, attachment, lots of different lower dark matter, survival matter frequency happenings. Now, if you decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. The first part of the column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute it into neutral light substance, all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, sending them to pure consciousness where they are, no more. Then we're met with the violet ray. This is the second part of the column of light. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind all of us, the gods that we are within these bodies, is that we are the sun, the sunlight, the sunset and the sunrise, the rainbow, the rain, the skies and the clouds, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the trees, the forest, the soils. The mountains. We're everything. Everything is us. So the next time you see a sunset, or a sunrise, or an ocean front, or a snowfall, or a starry lit night sky, or a rainbow, that is the God that I am. Through the heart-mind. Instead of being trained to say, oh, isn't that beautiful? Try it. Through the heart-mind. That is the God that I am. Whole different perspective. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form, hover effortlessly above it. If we're carrying physical form. Why do we do this? Because it's fun, and we can. We come into full contact with this crystalline light tower, column. Center of the column, it's larger than the solar system and beyond, but the center of the column has an oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is a golden white bowl of light. It is surrounded by numerous colored rings of light that seem to never end. Now, all of it creates this super white mist, sparkling. It's electrified. And it enters our heart minds, and it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. And we discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then well-being. Gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, tremendous prosperity, and tremendous abundance. And we discover that all of that is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, at the top of the crystalline tower, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, infinity and beyond, as it's doing right now. Permeating, saturating, and flooding all life the highest supreme value in the universe is, with the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest purest. Eternal love. Now we're drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is a drop, drops of the golden ocean, and the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We all created this sphere almost 4 years ago. It holds well over 1,800 of our meditations in perpetual motion. These meditations do not dissipate. They continue to intensify. They continue to expand and grow. Now you can tap in any time you want because they're flooding this planet, infinity and beyond. All of that, hundreds of millions of us on and off world, consciously aware to a certain extent for the full liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. And these meditations are endless. And they do keep growing. And they do keep expanding. Tapping into the infinite source is not easy. It is effortless. It's not easy. It is effortless. Just be still. Go within. Stay there. Explore the deepest silence you can imagine. Observe the mind. Listen to the thoughts. Soon you will glimpse reality. And in one instant, you will understand the most powerful realization of all. Who you truly are. After one moment of this, you will see you have the power to manifest everything that you think. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out.
Take an easy breath in through the nose. And an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. This world is your mirror. Your response in relation to every being on this planet reflects your inner consciousness. The mirror is always present, always reflecting what you most need to know, allowing you to observe, learn, and grow on your soul's path to angelic development. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. And we will return here tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for Time for Change call. And tomorrow morning, Thursday, February 3rd, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation